Hey guys, it's Bailey from Making Up the Midwest, and this is going to be probably the most requested top 5 and under 5 video ever, and that is for the brand Maybelline. So if you want to hear all about my top 5 products from that brand in under 5 minutes, let's get started. First, let's start with the obvious, and I feel like those are the color tattoos. These are unique because they are very similar to something like MAC's Paint Pot, where they are essentially cream shadows that are meant to be worn alone, and they do it successfully without fading or creasing throughout the day. This is one of the first cream eyeshadows from the drugstore I've experienced this with. Additionally, they can be worn as shadow bases. They do create a somewhat tacky base that you can pile on a powder shadow or other color tattoos as well, and it gives you the same great wear quality. Now occasionally Maybelline will like to come out with limited edition shades for the seasons, fall, spring, etc. There are always some fun shades in there, but they also have an extensive collection of permanent shades that I love. They are great everyday shades. The first one is Bad to the Bronze. Obviously mine has a huge divot in it because it's just a great everyday neutral that creates a solid base over the eye, or it's kind of a metallic finish, so when worn alone it has an extra dimension that something matte or flat might not have. So it works great both solo and under shadows or with other color tattoos. The other one I like is Inked in Pink, and it's just a really nice soft pink that is kind of sheared out on the lid, but you can also build it up so it's a little more bold like it is here. It's really just a nice basic shade that's a little more natural looking than, say, something that is Bad to the Bronze. The next products are, I feel, again, pretty obvious, but they are relatively new to the Maybelline collection, and they are the Color Tattoo Pure Pigments. These made the list because there aren't a ton of good quality pigments in the drugstore, or pigments at all to speak of. They just aren't that common, I don't find. So when they came out with these and they actually happen to be fun colors, good quality, good texture, I went wild for them. One of the nice things about pigments is that you can not only use them as eyeshadow, but you can also use them in your nail polish, or in fact there's one shade in particular that I'd recommend, and that is Barely Brazen, which I'm currently wearing as a highlight today. It's very natural as a wash of color all over the lid, but you can also wear it to highlight various parts of your face. So these are amazing multitaskers. Next up is a foundation. It is the one I'm wearing today. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Radiant Firming Makeup, not to be confused with the one with the sponge, which is the Eraser Treatment Makeup. This one has a little bit more of a satin to matte finish, but the thing that I like about this finish is that it isn't so matte that it leaves your face looking flat and kind of lifeless like so many matte foundations can. This really does infuse a little bit of radiance in your skin, and I can't really explain that, but it lasts all day, another thing that I love, and it doesn't sink into fine lines around my eyes or anything. So it manages to have all of the attributes that it does in terms of finish and lasting power without sinking in, which I love about this foundation. Number 4 is another face product. It is the Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer. This is in the shade Radiant though, so it isn't so much a concealer as it is a color corrector. There's light, medium, and dark I think in these, and Radiant is none of those. It actually has kind of a salmon-y undertone to help cancel out any dark circles in the under eye area, and that's exactly how I use it. I will use this in addition to a concealer if I find that, you know, whatever concealer I'm using that day isn't quite getting the job done and I need a little bit of extra oomph to cancel out dark under eye circles if I'm, you know, on lack of sleep or feeling ill, have allergies, anything like that. This is my miracle go-to pen to erase any of those dark circles. It just is phenomenal, and that again is in the shade Radiant, so don't get an actual concealer pen like light, medium, or dark, because I'm sure it does a good job at concealing, but this is the real powerhouse when it comes to color correction. And last, if you have seen my videos or read my blog, you'll know of my longtime love of the whole Vivids line. This, and my favorite shade ever, is Shocking Coral, and the reason this made it on the list is because so few brands have a line, or even a few lipsticks within a given line, that really have kind of these bright pigments. It's so refreshing to see some vibrant colors. I mean, recently Rimmel has come out with their show-off lip lacquers, but these were kind of the original in a true lipstick form. So I love this entire lipstick line because they are very smooth, creamy, pigmented, long-lasting, everything you need out of a lipstick, but boy are they pigmented and with some really fun shades. So love this entire lipstick line. This is in the shade Shocking Coral, and shockingly enough, I'm wearing it on my lips today. So they are, you can make them a little more subdued. I just patted this on and then used a finger to diffuse the color, but you can also really layer these up to get some fabulous color payoff. So those are all of my top 5 Maybelline products. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear what your top 5 are because I always love trying new products as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was everything you wanted and more since it was really requested, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!